welcome to Quirky Queen's Journals. My name's Kirsten. So today we're taking a gel print and we're making artist trading cards. So this is one that I'd cut up yesterday, and I've made little artist trading cards. So artist trading cards are 2.5 by 3.5 inches. So I have an 8 by 10 inch plate, so I get 8 cards out of it. What I do is I use the long edge to create the 2.5 inch sides and the shorter edge to create the 3.5 inch sides. I'm just going to cut it up. Last one. We have 8. Now I only use 6 of the last one because I found the larger shape, the smaller shapes made it a bit harder to pick out sort of big shapes to simplify it a bit. Let's see what we've got. That's a good one. So's that. So's this. And this. They're all pretty good so far, actually. That one's probably the most complex. Now, I like to use the children's poster paint to mark out my kind of shapes that I'm wanting. Because, A, it's transparent, but also, when we lay down, that is correct, when we lay down the acrylic on top of it, need more yellow, I find that it's easy for me to rub back off the acrylic paint and create some textured areas, like there. That one's not really got any. That's got it a bit there. There's quite a bit on that one. So you can get that kind of aged, distressed look a lot easier. So I'm just going to pick out some shapes. I'm going to start, that's the hardest one I would say, so I'm going to start with an easy one, because why wouldn't you? What I would say is, that is a bit better to use, I'm going to use this to protect this, ones that have been, jelly prints that you've pulled on better quality paper that's a bit sturdier. However, if you've pulled it on tissue paper or whatever, just stick it on, paste it down to a sturdier paper. Like, I've took one of my old gel prints and it's on tissue paper and I've stuck it onto a sort of plywood board and I've painted over it, I've varnished it, and I've got a few wrinkles, but it just adds to the whole look. I think I'm going to make this whole background green. So like I say, all we're using this kids paint for just now is to define our shapes, because the acrylic paint will dominate it colour wise, and obviously for the lifting off of the acrylic paint. So there's some shapes that you might like, this one that's more complex. I may combine some shapes, like here. I'm not going to do it just now, but there's a good chance I'll combine this into here. I think that one will be quite nice. So this is a good way to use up your gel prints as well, but also to get some practice in, because see these smaller elements, they're a wee bit harder to paint. I'm combining shapes here as well. What I'm doing is I've just made this one here, I've kept the peaks, but I'm combining the bottom together with it. I'm just thinking about this bit here. Once we get some acrylic on that, we can make it less transparent and we'll hide some of that darkness. Right, let's get a fourth colour. Right, so not all of them will have a fourth colour. This one does. Right, I'm going to let them dry and we'll get out the acrylic paints. Okay, so I thought let's just change up the colours. We'll use purple, light blue violet. Oops. We got some. And yellow ochre. Let's do this one first. Right, I worked out these are my strongest designs that are probably just ready to paint over, and that's it. These may need to have a small change, and this one I'm going to need to do some work on. So I'm thinking, let's make this orange. The light blue violet. We'll just do a second coat. Let's give you a shot. Okay, I'm going to give them all a second coat. I added some white to the yellow ochre just to make it a bit more, to give more contrast to the values. And they're completely dry now. And I'm just rubbing with a wet cotton bud. Because we put down the kids' poster paint, it acts like a resist. So that's white kids' poster paint with black acrylic over the top, and then I've washed it off with water. I usually prefer to use a rag because it's slightly, it's a bit easier to get a bit of pressure down. You can do it with a paintbrush as well. For a wee stiff one. There's a stiff one. You just get a bit more pressure through the cotton bud. Also just be a wee bit more strategic with it. Okay. Right. Okay, so for these ones, I used these stencils that I made. But I'm thinking of maybe using these circle ones this time, and maybe using the black instead of the white this time. It's just a makeup sponge in the pan pastel. Listen, we can rub this out. You can use a rubber with pan pastel if you're not happy with it. I quite like it because it's quite simple. Oops. So pan pastel is quite transparent, so it will pick up different values that are underneath the, in the paint. Come on. So here, where's my rubber? Definitely going to go right to the side with this one. So yeah, I chose a more simple design for these ones because on here there isn't the same level of contrast. These are both, that's dark, that's sort of quite dark, and that's light but not overly light, whereas this is very light, mid-value and dark, so there's quite a range there. So I feel that this just gives it a wee something. I'm going to call these done, and what I do now is, where's the varnish? And I just seal it all. So here they are, and that's the varnish all dry, and I've got quite a few more gel prints that I'm going to work my way through. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Take care. Hope to see you soon. Bye.